front of your mat. Cross your right shin in front of your left shin. So making sure that you have a little bit of space, like if you were to have your block would fit between them. So you have space between your hips and your shins. And as you inhale, you're going to take the arms up. As you exhale, take those elbows or hands underneath the knees, scoop the knees up, and then press the knees down into those arms. As you do that, send your chest forward. So you're getting into the backs of the hips here. This will probably be our only really active stretch. Breathing into it. And then as you exhale, release those knees down, take those hands forward, let those knees drop as much as forward. Just rock a little bit from side to side. Getting into the outer hips, just checking in here. And then inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, walk those hands back. Take your right hand out to the side. Take your left arm to the side up high. And as you exhale, lean it over. Starting to bend into that right elbow any little bit. And then press that left hip down. It's getting a nice little side stretch here. Take your gaze to your bottom hand. And then can you make that top arm even straighter? And then maybe bend into that bottom elbow a little bit more. Nice big breaths. Good. As you inhale, press up, come all the way up. And as you exhale, release those hands down. Take that right knee, draw it up. And that left foot's going to slide under your right hip. That right foot's going to stay on the inside of your left knee. And then you're going to sit up tall and then rotate toward that right knee. And just hug it in. And if you feel like you have a little bit more range of motion here, maybe you're going to take that right ankle and slide it over the left knee, seeing if you can sit up a little bit taller. So now it's going to direct into that outer hip a little bit more. So just continue to hug the knee in and sit up tall. So as you're hugging in, you're kind of pushing your knee against that arm to find that stretch. 2 more breaths here. Try to relax the shoulders and jaw. Exhale fully here. And as you inhale, unwind. Taking that bottom leg extended out. And then you're going to try and get that top knee anywhere you can closer to your bottom knee. If you need to sit up on something, slide a little prop underneath your hips. That's just going to give you a little bit more lift to get that knee over the other knee. And then sitting up nice and tall, start to lean forward. So great stretch for the hamstring, great stretch for your outer hips in this. And then wherever you are, let yourself kind of round forward just a little bit, get into the low back. Again, taking nice deep breaths, that extended leg, toes are pulled back. So that bottom leg's a little bit more active, top leg's just a little less active. And then start to lengthen the spine. Start to pull your chest forward, draw the shoulders back. So you might need to press up a little bit. So you're really going to get a little bit more into that left side maybe. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, walk yourself back up. As you exhale, draw that knee. Place that foot to the side. If you're on anything, come off of it. And then you're going to kind of just lean into that left side, draw that right knee down to the floor so your ankle's behind you. Grab onto the ankle and start to draw that knee back. So getting into that quadricep stretch. Good. If it feels okay, maybe drop to your elbow. You can even bend into that left knee and then roll the shoulders back. So you're pressing hand into foot, foot into hand, and then you're rolling that shoulder back. Take another couple deep breaths. Exhale fully here. Good. As you inhale, release that foot, press yourself back up. Draw that knee up. And then this time your left ankle is going to come in front of your right ankle. Sorry, shin. Left shin in front of right shin. So you have that space. And then inhale, take those arms up. As you exhale, take those arms, scoop them underneath, right? And then you're going to press down into the knees, into those arms, pulling the chest forward. So getting across the base of the hips here, into those glutes. Nice full breaths. And then on your next exhale, slowly let those knees come down. Walk the hands forward any little bit and just kind of rock a little bit from side to side. Getting into those back outer hips, like right there above your hip bone, those muscles that get a little tight when we lean over all the time, when we're sitting a lot. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, walk those hands back to your shins. And then as you exhale, take that left hand out to the side. Inhale takes that right arm up to the sky. And then as you exhale, lean to the left. So that left elbow starts bending, that right arm starts reaching overhead, rotating the palm down, and then opening up the chest, making that top arm even straighter so you can get into the side waist a little bit more. And then as your body allows it, as the breath comes in, maybe bend into that bottom elbow a little bit more. Taking that gaze down toward your bottom shoulder. Good. Big inhale here. Exhale. Press down into that bottom hand as you inhale, press yourself. And then as you exhale, release those hands. Taking that left knee, draw it up toward your chest. Slide that right ankle under your hip a little bit more. And just pause with the foot in front of the knee to begin, and then a hug toward that knee. So this is kind of where you kind of check in and you're like, all right, do I feel much of a stretch here? Do I need more of a stretch? And then that's when you can kind of squeak that left ankle over the right knee. And continue to sit up tall, dropping that left hip down. So you're hugging the knee in, resisting it out. So it's a nice little hip stretch as well as a low back and upper back stretch with the twist. Nice big breaths. And again, allowing that breath to be full so as you're pushing and expanding into the back body as much as you're getting into the hips. Exhale fully here. Good. As you inhale, unwind that. And as you exhale, take that right leg out. And then start to stack that left knee on top of the right. Again, if you need to come up on anything here, just to give yourself a little bit more space to find some stacking, take that time. And then start to lean forward any little bit, right? And as you lean forward this first time, you're going to round into the spine. Let yourself kind of really round, get into the low back. Get into those hips. That extended leg is active. Toes are drawing back. So you're definitely going to feel the back of that leg. Continue to breathe. And exhale fully here. And as you inhale, lengthen the spine. Come up onto those fingertips a little bit more and pull the chest forward. So a little bit more active stretch in those outer hips, in the back of that extended leg. Nice full breaths. Exhale fully. As you inhale, come all the way up. And then as you exhale, lifting that left knee up, bringing it to the side, bending into that right knee, come off anything you're seated on, lean into the right hand, draw the left knee down so that your ankle comes behind you, and then start to walk that foot back just so you're getting into that quadricep. And if it feels okay, bend into that right elbow so you can lean into it and roll the shoulder back. Nice. Just kind of really breathing into that front hip flexor, into the quadricep, even up into the chest as you roll the shoulders back. Good. Exhale fully here. Good. As you inhale, slowly start to press yourself up. Bring that knee forward. Bring the soles of your feet together for a moment. Press down on your hands behind you and just sit up tall and kind of draw the knees down. Rock them a little bit from side to side. So your hands are taking most of the support. You're able to kind of feel where you're tight in your hips and in those inner groins. And then pause here. Just press with the hands, maybe come up onto those fingertips behind you and kind of just press the chest forward. As you do, press the feet together and imagine you have little tiny strings on your outer knees that are pulling those knees down, just to kind of get into those inner groins. We'll come back to this in a moment, but just kind of getting into those inner groins a little bit here. Good. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, come back to center. And then as you exhale, roll yourself forward onto your hands and knees. Grab your blocks. Have them handy at the front of your mat. And then from here, press down into those hands as you inhale, lengthen the spine, a little cow pose. Pause here, squeeze the shoulder blades together, lift and engage through those hips, letting that belly drop down. And then on your next inhale, press into the hands around the spine. Press down into the tops of the feet. Stay here as you exhale. Keep pressing into the hands, chin to chest. Tailbone toward the floor, and then lean slightly into those hands, getting into that upper back. Exhale here. Good. As you inhale, find that cow pose again. And then exhale, find cat. Then inhale, neutral spine. As you exhale, grab onto those blocks, make them as wide as your mat, and step your right foot forward. So that right foot's forward, that left knee's back. Press down into the top of the foot, and then inhale, take those arms up. Good. So just getting into that left side here. Good. Press into the front foot, lift the chest, and then take those hands back behind you. Either bring them into what would be your back pockets or interlink your hands behind you and lengthen those arms back. If your hands are just into your low pockets, lengthen your elbows back. So we're really opening up that front body. Good. 2 more breaths here. Good. As you inhale, slowly reach those arms back up. And then as you exhale, bring those hands to the blocks or floor. Tuck your back toe, bring those blocks to the highest height and straighten your back leg. Good. So just kind of rock forward and backward and massaging into that hip flexor. And then from here, you're going to start to straighten that front leg any little bit and then bend back into it. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. So if you feel the blocks are still too low, bring the blocks on the inside, stack them again, bend into the front knee and straighten. Good. So you have options just so you can get into that front hamstring by straightening that leg a little bit more. Good. Pause there in that straightened leg. Come up high onto the ball of the back foot so you're leaning into that front foot. Continue to breathe. Good. 1 more full inhale here. Exhale. Good. As you inhale, bend back into that front knee. As you exhale, bring the blocks back to either side of the foot, and then that left hand's going to either come to the floor or to the block as your right arm reaches to the sky for a twist. And while you're in this twist, can you let your hips drop a little bit more? Can you reach up through that top arm really straight and then open the chest a little bit more? Big inhale here. As you exhale, right hand's going to come down to block or floor. Good. Bend back into that back knee. Take that front foot, slide it back. Good, hands to the floor. Take a little cat-cow here. Inhale, find cow. Exhale, find cat. Good, inhale to center. As you exhale, hands to those blocks. Step that left foot forward. Good, press down into that back leg. And as you inhale, take those arms to the sky. Good. Big stretch in that front body. Pressing down into the legs, opening the chest. And then once again, hands come behind you. Either slide them down into those back pockets or interlink those fingers and then reach to the back of your mat. Good. Chin stays neutral. So you're opening through the front of the body, through the chest, into the hips. Good. One more breath here. And then as you inhale, take those arms back up to the sky. And on your exhale, bring them back to the floor. Bring those blocks up onto their highest height. Straighten the back leg. And then just kind of rock forward and backwards. So as you rock back, you're getting into that calf. As you rock forward, hips are dropping lower. Really getting into that right leg. Good. On your next exhale, start to straighten that front leg. So again, if you need to walk your blocks to the inside and walk them back to be able to do that. So we're bending and straightening into that front leg. And the next time you get into that straight leg position, pause there. Come up high onto the ball of the back foot. Keep straightening that front leg as much as possible. Breathing into it. And 2 more breaths here. Exhale fully. Good. As you inhale, bend back into that front knee. Exhale, widen those blocks, and then right hand's going to stay down to the block or the floor. Left arm's going to reach up for that twist. Good. As you find that twist, let your hips drop lower, and then press into that bottom hand to open the chest a little bit more. Good. Continue to breathe. Good. One more full inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, circles that hand all the way back down to the blocks. As you exhale, bending into that back knee. Hands to the floor, slide that front foot back. Find a little cat-cow here. Inhale, cow first. Exhale, cat. Good, one more time. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Good, from here, find neutral spine. Plant those hands, tuck your toes, find a downward dog. Good, pedal the feet, shift the hips. Just kind of check in here, acknowledging your outer hips, the hamstrings, just noticing how they're feeling here. Couple deep breaths. Good, exhale fully. Find a nice still downward dog. So press into the hands. Gaze is to the back of your mat. Your head is heavy, so you can shake it yes and no. You're pressing into those hips, lifting them high, and then pressing those legs towards straight. So finding some activity in the legs, some stretch through the hips, the hamstrings. Exhale fully here. As you inhale, come forward toward plank. Exhale, bring the knees down, bring the hips all the way to the floor toward seated, and come back to that butterfly stretch. Bring the soles of your feet together. Press into those hands behind you, press down, and move your hips forward toward your feet any little bit. Good, and then from here, grab onto those feet, pull the chest forward and up as you draw the knees down, and then start to lean forward as your elbows go toward those thighs. Kind of getting into any little bit of those inner joints. Again, breathing into it. So keep a nice long spine to begin here. We'll get into that rounded spine in a moment. Good. On your next exhale, slightly round into the spine, right? So now you're going to get into like that upper back, mid back. You may not go as far into that little opening of the knees, but that's fine. And can you draw your chin toward your chest? You really just kind of round into that back. Let everything just kind of go soft, no holding, no gripping, no activity. Just letting gravity take over. Exhale fully here. Then as you inhale, slowly curl the spine up. And then as you exhale, help those knees up. And we're going to return back onto our floor, onto the mat, so onto your backs. Bring your strap with you and recline all the way down. Just kind of notice how that feels. Pausing here. Good. Hug both knees into the chest. And then place the feet on the ground. Slide those legs out. Take up the distance of your mat. As you do, press down into the heels. Squeeze your glutes so you can kind of find that length in the front side. And then press into the hands, press down into the elbows, slide those shoulder blades underneath you so that your chest opens. And then exhale, press into the heels, lift the hips slightly, lengthen the tailbone toward the end of your mat. So you have this nice long spine against the mat. And then exhale, relax your legs, relax your arms, wiggle around a little bit, find some comfort. If you need a little bit of extra support under your knees, roll up a blanket or put your blocks under your knees. But kind of just get all those little wiggles out. Maybe rock the head from side to side. Acknowledge the opening and the openness of the front body. Maybe the length and the openness of the back body. Notice any sensations that are happening in the hips. And then just stay with those sensations. Just for a few more moments, just acknowledging them. Dropping into that physical body. And then start to tune your awareness to your breath. That slight inhale and exhale through the nose. Your breathing's kind of returned back to normal. Just take a little scan from head to toe, shoulders to fingers, releasing any tension in the body. Maybe the jaw is tense. Can you relax it and let your tongue slide away from your teeth? Can you relax your whole face and your shoulders just a little bit more? Just allow yourself to stay with that sensation at the tip of your nose for a few moments of silence here. I'll bring you out of Shavasana with the sound of my voice. Take rest. Allowing your next breath to come in a little bit deeper. Check in. If you need to stay here a little bit longer, please do. Otherwise, start to gradually bring some movement into the fingers and the toes, making wrist and ankle circles. And then taking those arms back behind your head, slide your feet together, give yourself a long stretch here. And then slowly bend the knees. Your choice, either hug those knees in, maybe do a little windshield wipers, maybe a little happy baby, whatever is going to feel best in your body here. Take some time to bring the circulation back to the body. And then when you're ready, use your arm as a pillow, roll over to one side, and just pause. Curling into that little ball on one side. Acknowledging that little shift between movement and stillness, and now stillness to movement. And then mindfully press yourself up, all the way back up to seated. Once you found that comfortable seat, allow your eyes to close. Arriving back into the space, onto your mat, into your body. Taking time to connect with the surroundings. And staying here in the present moment just for a moment. Acknowledging those little shifts and changes from the beginning of practice till now. Not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. Offering up some gratitude for taking time to make it to your mat, to work into those areas that need a little bit of recovery from all the extra work that you do in the legs and the hips. We'll take this time to seal that practice in with that sigh of the breath or an om, your choice. Bring your hands either to your low belly, one hand to heart, one hand to belly, or both hands pressing in front of your heart. Exhale fully here. Inhale. Taking a moment, think of one thing in your life you truly are grateful for. Hold on to that image in your mind's eye as you raise your head with a smile. Thank you for making. Namaste. Lots of water, each veggies for self-love.